What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing you guys my review for Boruto Manga Chapter 77. So this chapter was titled Time Drawing Near, and just based off the spoilers I covered the last few days, I knew this was going to be a pretty crazy chapter with all the events that were happening throughout. I thought that it was going to be really well paced, and so far, after reading this, I think that it delivered, and that this arc that's kind of giving me final pre-time skip arc vibes, I think it's going to be pretty good. But let's talk about what happened. So at the start of the chapter, Kawaki has Boruto grabbed, and he's pretty much telling Momoshiki to come out. And as he's doing that, it seems like we're about to get a fight starting up, and then Shikamaru communicates with Kawaki and tells him to chill out and to remember what Naruto's face was when he saw his son dead last time. So as a result of that, Kawaki ends up letting Boruto go, and then he ends up leaving the place where they're doing this room sharing mission and tells him that he's leaving to go take care of an errand. And it all makes sense towards the end of the chapter with what the errand was. Shikamaru mentioned the whole thing about Naruto seeing Boruto dead, but Kawaki, I guess, decided to take a different approach to how Naruto would potentially react to it, and I'll get to that at the end. But so Kawaki hides his chakra so the sensory team can't track him. We didn't expect that. I'm sure a lot of us weren't expecting the sensory team to really do much. Boruto then asks Mitsuki, who's outside with Konohamaru, if he's seen Kawaki leave, but Mitsuki says he has not. Boruto then concludes that means that Kawaki used the Sukona Hikona, so he shrinked himself using Ishiki's ability. At the same time, Ida also then decides to leave the room sharing place for shopping. Seems like she doesn't really care about any of the rules and restrictions being put on her, and she wants to go shopping with the girls. Boruto ends up sensing Kawaki but can't pinpoint his exact location, but they do know that he's at least around in the village. Boruto is told by Shikamaru then to accompany Ida with Sarada and Sumire instead, rather than trying to chase down Kawaki. Shikamaru says to leave that to the sensor unit team. So I also really liked what came right after this. We got a little bit of a change in pace with us switching over now to Bug and Code. So we got Bug drinking, and Code now apparently has over 1,000 soldiers. But he is disappointed that he won't have an element of surprise in his attack, since Ida's abilities can see it coming. After that, Shikamaru is informed about these creatures, and apparently they're called Clawgrime. Ida also explains that Code wants to destroy everything Kawaki values, so that's going to include the village, it's going to include people in specific from the village, such as Naruto, that's going to involve anybody that did any wrong to Ishiki and his relationship that was torn up with Ida. So Code is, on a pretty big revenge spree down the line, I'm sure, coming up. Next we cut over to Damon trolling Boruto again, kind of just calling him weak and just poking fun at him. And then he asks Boruto if there's any decent fighters around. Right then, he senses someone, so he starts running. And apparently he runs into Himawari. And he tries to punch her, but Boruto holds him back. Damon senses strength from Himawari. He claims that dodging his punch should have been very easy for her. And Boruto responds with that Himawari's not a shinobi and she's not that strong. But I think, as a reader, I think this is hinting at some hidden powers that Himawari will have down the line. I think these hidden powers could be shown perhaps a little bit pre-time skip as well, if we get maybe a Himawari reaction to what just happened with Naruto and Hinata at the end of the chapter. or we could see it post time skip after she's done some training. It'll be interesting to see how they approach stuff with her. We then cut over to the Uzumaki residence, where we got Hinata and Naruto getting ready to have dinner together, and Hinata's pretty happy that she can at least have dinner with Naruto again every day, because his Hokage duties, if you guys remember, were taken away from that, and he'd be sending shadow clones. So then after that, we have Kawaki appear out of nowhere and tells Naruto to take a seat and says that he needs to talk to him. Kawaki pretty much goes on this spree about how he's grateful to him and that he'd die for Naruto without any hesitation. So some stuff, that he said before in the past. So a little repetition there, which isn't bad. It's just adding to the scene that's about to come. Kawaki ends up also saying that usually good people like Naruto are those that die first, as long as people like the Otsutsuki are around. Kawaki says that ninja to him are those who die earlier. So that's his view on shinobi as opposed to what Boruto's might be. So this is where I think the anime canon that has happened can kind of help shape some perspective into where Kawaki's views coming from and where Boruto's views at through all the missions they've shown him do. That's where I think there definitely is some good stuff to come out of the anime canon, just because you see, I guess, mission by mission what their development is with their whole mindset. Next, Kawaki says that he must destroy every last Otsutsuki, and says that he even felt a little guilty after he found out that Boruto survived. And as a result, as he's saying this, Hinata is crying. And then after he says the line about feeling guilty that Boruto survived, she slaps Kawaki, which I think as she should. She's a mother, and she's hearing this adopted son talk about her son in this manner, like he's gonna go and kill him soon. So she definitely had a very warranted reaction. Hinata claims that he may be going crazy. Kawaki says that he's indeed thinking straight and doesn't expect her to understand or Naruto to understand any of this. Kawaki says he must carry this mission out to take out the Otsutsuki since the others cannot. He doesn't think Naruto has the will to take down Boruto if it comes down to it. And see, this is where we're kind of forgetting Sasuke. I don't think this has to do with bad writing or anything like that. I just think it's because Kawaki and Sasuke haven't really interacted. But this is where I think Kawaki's wrong, where Kawaki's saying they don't have the will to take him down. I think that if Boruto really goes off in a rampage, and if someone has to absolutely kill him, Sasuke, I think, would try. I don't know if he'd be able to do it, but he would definitely try. Naruto says then that he'll have to get through him, though, before he can kill Boruto. So Naruto lets him know, makes it very clear that he is not going to let his son die and that Kawaki will have to get through him. Although it is worth noting that he still doesn't say anything like, oh, I'll kill you, Kawaki, if you try going for Boruto. So we do have... I just feel like it'd be really interesting down the line if we do get these two fighting and Naruto actually somehow is winning. Maybe if he gets a power up down the line and is freed from what happens next. It'd be interesting to see how Naruto would handle the situation. But unfortunately, it is looking like we're past those days, at least at the moment, of Naruto and Sasuke being on the level of these Otsutsuki guys after what happened in the last fight. Kawaki then, to end off the chapter, sends Naruto and Hinata to another dimension out of nowhere before they can react. So he sends them to another dimension, and I believe that Ishiki's dimension, where he would have sent him to, is one where time is kind of just frozen. So they might just be stuck there. So I know some people were wondering when the spoilers drop, like, what are they going to do for food? I guess that should answer that. And to end off the chapter, Kawaki says, once it's all done, you're free to kill me, Lord Seventh. So I think that's a really great way to close off the chapter. I really like that last line by Kawaki, and I really think it'll be interesting to see what happens down the line at some point when Naruto is freed. I think it's bound to happen. I just don't know if it's gonna be pre-time skip or post-time skip. Now we also gotta wonder things like who's gonna fill in for the Hokage role, because I don't think Naruto's gonna be back in the next, 2-3 chapters. I think it's gonna be a little bit at least. So it'll be interesting to see who fills the Hokage role. Are we gonna get a new appointment? Are we gonna get the return of Kakashi? Um, it'll be really interesting to see what route they decide to go with that. And now we're also going to get to see how Sasuke reacts maybe in the next chapter if he's around. We'll get to see what Boruto will react with. I'm sure we'll definitely get that in the next chapter. And we still have that scene to come too of Mitsuki in his sage mode along with Sarada and Ino Shikacho, the new ones, confronting Kawaki. So a lot to come still, and I'm pretty excited for it. But all in all, this was a fantastic chapter. I would give this one a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. Probably a 10 out of 10 because I just think everything was done really well. It was very exciting. It was pretty hype, very eventful. Pacing was great. Crazy events actually went down that are gonna make us wonder, like, hey, what's gonna happen next in the next few months, right? So I feel like they did a great job this chapter, and I think this chapter, along with chapter 75, are examples of how you do really amazing monthly chapters for this franchise and this series. So let me know what you thought though in the comments below of this chapter. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Let me know your rating in the comments below. But that's going to wrap up this one. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. Hope you guys have a good day or night. I'm Rewinds, and I'm out.